Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, you could do that.
I mean, y'all could leave it on the table. We vibing. They gonna say we lean heads. That's what we're in the
right, just because we got this.
Just because we got a white cup
and all that. So
we just got water in it, B. You know what I'm saying? No power to the
matter of fact, mind your business. It don't matter. You know, it's my cup. You know what I mean? Get your own cup. You know what? After everything that went on today, we gonna make this happen, and it's gonna be the best episode we got. You know, I promise you, we're going to keep this energy up, and we're going to vibe out, and we're going to put you, the Gemini of the side of you, out there. I'm
trying to get on.
I promise we're going to make up for the rough start, all right? We're going to make up.
Listen, this is boss status, though. I get it. Listen,
right,
I go through worse.
Right. Technical difficulties, but, you know, that's life, right? You got to sometimes.
You ran out of storage, that means you got a lot of footage.
A lot of footage, a lot of content, you know, for our culture.
Unreleased too.
Unreleased, yeah. So.
We recording.
Yeah, we here. We just vibing.
We just vibing.
Getting into it. Yeah, we warming it up right now. You know, letting it marinate. Yeah. You know, you can't just throw the chicken on the skillet. You know, you gotta let the pan heat out. You know, let the exactly. You already know.
Yeah, hear it like.
Right, you gotta throw a little splash of water in there. See if it's ready. Yeah, see if it's ready. You know, see if it's ready. I think it's ready though. So here we are, man. I'm Kay.
Chaz.
And we are Culture Content, and our special guest today is Neesh. And we want to thank you. Round of applause.
You guys are very welcome. Thank y'all.
Yeah, we running it back. As you see, we are on the road again. You know, we left the Three Seasons room.
It's cold, nigga.
It's kind of cold. It's kind of cold in there right now. So, but what a pleasant establishment to be inside of, and to see, and to view, and to touch. Neesh, phenomenal job.
Thank you.
You know, black woman, entrepreneur, making it happen. What side of town is this?
McKees Rocks.
McKees Rocks.
We're in McKees Rocks
right now. Black owned in McKees Rocks. Like, come visit. All right.
Where's McKees Rocks? What side of town is
That's
McKees?
the west side. That's the west side.
Okay, so West Siders say McKees Rocks is not the west side, so McKees Rocks is just McKees Rocks.
So what's the west side then?
Listen, I'm not from the west.
North?
I'm from the south, but they say this is not the west side.
But then Monroeville is definitely the east, so what would be west of Monroeville?
Listen.
Yeah, I mean, like, hey, if you want to get into the, directional patterns, this is seen west.
See?
Never eat shredded wheat.
So wait. So can we safely say that it's not me, that my geography be messed up, and Pittsburgh is just that Pittsburgh is a little weird sometimes when people come to territory, like,
they're definitely territorial.
Yeah. Like, because you just said this is clearly not west.
Yeah,
you just called
north, east, south, west.
Right?
This is the west.
I was under the impression
West Siders
is
going to really argue it's not the west side. So we're going to say McKee Rocks and
okay.
But I'm from Belsuver, the south side.
Okay. I still don't know what that is either. But
I know that is. That's south side.
That's
not
the
South Flats.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the Flats.
No. What?
It still is the south side. It's
still
the south. South side
Flats.
You said the Flats?
But she said south side. I don't see. This is again. Make it make sense for me. So the south side, just real quick before we get, the south side is not really the south side.
No, the south side is
it's the south side.
Okay, so what south side are you from?
I'm from Belsuver.
That's
the
a
south side is
side.
Corson, Mount Oliver, St. Clair, Belsuver.
Oh, okay, I know Montclair. Okay, so that's all south. Okay.
Yeah, Mount Clair. He said Mount Clair.
Yeah,
that's it. It is.
What is that?
Over. Listen.
They got some good food in Mount Clair.
Listen. KD's kitchen is fire.
We're going to have to bring you back and do a geography quiz for me. Because I'm going to need help. I still need help. I've been out here, 7 years? 5. Oh, yeah. 5 years. 5 long years.
2017.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah, so 5 long years. But it's hard. It's hard. Tell me, I know how to get through New York, though. That's a grid. That's north, south, east, west. There's no discrepancy. That's a grid.
Where you from?
Yeah. I'm from the west side of Harlem.
Harlem.
She's from the east side. You know and she's from the south side of Pittsburgh. So we got everybody here.
I be up Harlem, too.
You already know.
Brooklyn flea market, listen, 26th Street.
We
listen,
outside.
Period. We on Broadway, Avenue, everywhere.
We on Canal, we everywhere.
Listen,
26th Street, I
We
ain't
outside,
gonna
that's
lie.
what it is.
So I used to, well, we should start, but just real quick. The 26th Street, I don't know if they still got the warehouses and stuff like that,
They
right?
do.
But when I was coming up, when we used to get the product from down there, like, you used to have to get in and get out real quick.
Yeah, because
you
why?
get caught up in a raid.
Then why did I just tell you that?
Yeah, I never been locked in.
You heard?
I never experienced
never
the raid, but I've heard about
Listen.
Yeah, it gets crazy. You be like, what's happening? They start shutting down
Word.
gates. Everybody start running in and all that.
They
and
shutting down gates
people-
we didn't even know existed.
It's the-
Like,
yeah,
yo, what's
yeah,
up?
like,
Like, oh
man.
man.
Is the door here? Like, what happened?
But on this like right now. I'm like, damn.
crazy. Yeah,
They
never.
coming right now, and if you hear
Right.
them walkie-talkies, they
Yeah.
organized though.
Right, definitely
Yeah.
organized.
They
You
used
get out,
to.
you be in a
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
different.
yeah.
You be
Be like-
nowhere where you came in.
Exactly.
I'm like, yo,
Man.
where we at?
Oh, yeah, you
Back.
taking that exit.
You on 29th Street.
Yeah, you in the
To the
alley
maze.
somewhere. You're like, yo, where
Right.
was the alleyway on 26th Street? Like, what?
Crazy.
Look, entertainment. Look, the connection is here already. The vibes is great. So Neesh, again, thank you for coming. Thank you for letting us into the establishment. So let's just tell us about yourself, how you got started, and yeah, how we ended up in this lovely establishment today.
We're starting over.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going. We're just
Okay.
gonna keep going. Just, you got
Okay,
this. You got
so
this.
how I started 5 years ago, but I only claim 4. But I started 5 years ago. My first store was in Mount Oliver on Brownsville Road. I was partnered with this older lady named Ruth Ann. I was a fully serviced hair store. So I had met this guy. He was like getting discounts on hair product. And I was just bad. I looked one day, I'm like, wow, I got all this merchandise and I don't want to just be selling it on Facebook. So I was like, oh, Miss Ruth, can I rent half of your store? I think half of the store was like $250. And it was a lot of rules at Miss Ruth Ann's store. She was older. She was years in business. And I was like, I want my own store. This ain't really where I want to be. So 30 days later, I came to McKees Rocks, and I had went to a previous landlord who I had rented a house from. And I was at any rental property, and he had put me in this little store front 4 buildings up from here. And like I said, it was fully serviced hair. And then there was a woman here. Her name was Wendy. And Wendy had a boutique. And she was taking a break, cutting down. And I had came in and brought like the wallboard displays and the cases that display like my mannequin heads and my jewelry things and different things like that. So I had brought like a lot of her jewelry. I mean, a lot of her furniture. And she was still, of course, hustling to get rid of, what she could get rid of, the less the better, to roll out with or whatever. She was running all types of sales.
Right.
And I was just sitting back, like, peeping game, like, this is how you liquidate and get rid of different things. And, I'm watching her. She's strong. She black. She holding it down. Ain't really showing no sweat because she was secure in what she wanted to do.
Right.
So, after she had left, my landlord had came and he was like, I have a different building. The rent's only pretty much, we'll say, maybe 150 more. Come down and look at it. We'll see if you want it. So I came in here and the window was board. It was all dark. It was a darker color. And I was like, oh, maybe if I cut the brick out, I could put a window in and, whatever. So I was like, I'll take it. And he, there was 200 and, we'll say 250 pairs of shoes. There was 3 full racks of clothes, all high and nice women fashion. And he was like, this is my donation to you. I had to sign off on the paper. And it was, in the business world, better to just write it off as a tax write-off at the end of the year because there was really nothing that he could do with it.
Right.
And she had just left it, probably knowing that it would be me who was getting it. And we had developed our own little, private relationship, personal relationship. So that's how I started. I didn't start out as a boutique. I started out as a fully serviced hair store. The back was a hair store. I had big bundles. I had dye. I had everything you could think of. Bows, all kinds of stuff. I had went to y'all town and went crazy up New York and got whatever he didn't get me. And it was nice. And then the hair store, the clothes had took over. Okay. It was like I found more passion in the clothing than I did the hair. It was easier to get. It was just, better for me. And it was also a hair store that was newly built after me next door. So I felt like I'll let her do the hair store. Right. I'll do the clothing. And I kind of backed up and ran from it, not thinking well, there's a Walmart, there's a Target. You know what I'm saying? Because now thinking it's a lot more profit in the hair store business than the clothing business, because times like this where it's slowing down and people really can't afford, they'll go to their closet. They're not going to just Gemini to get a shirt. And I understand it and respect it. It's rough for everybody, right, yeah. Me as well, so that's how I started.
Testament to you, though. I just want to speak about how you were blessed, because the type of person that you had to be for him to even want to bless you with that, just I feel like is a testament to your character, because nasty people don't get blessed like that. Facts. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
that's a lot. That wasn't here's a couple pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? You get, what, 250?
He filled my store. He filled my store. I was so thankful. Things, move just real fast. You don't realize you're in it, but I'm always so just grateful. But I will say that with that, it was hard because it wasn't my field. And in the business world, you got to stay in your field. You got to stick to, what's for you and what's best for you. So, this is my first time ever really announcing that I never had a vendor. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a vendor. I had a donation. It was different. I had to get out here and I had to find it. I had to Google on Alibaba. Oh, this is your address. Oh, you're right there in LA showroom. I like your clothes. So I'm going to Google your address. I'm going to come in. I'm going to shake your hand. I'm going to introduce myself, touch and feel your product, and then go from there. Everyone who I deal with personally. I know all my vendors. We have a very good personal relationship. Again, I'm just a Gemini. So we're different. All of us. All sides of us are different, and every time we try to figure us out, we're somebody else. So it's just they understand me, and we do work well, but I get a lot of things early. I do I get pre-orders, so I'll get it before it's seen or before it comes out. So with that, it's even hard because if you don't see it in Pittsburgh, you don't want it. If you don't know it, you're not buying it. And if you're not with the big dogs, you're a nobody.
Absolutely.
So
that's an unfortunate thing too.
It's a Pittsburgh thing. It is.
That's what it is,
hey,
right?
Man,
it's
listen,
it ain't gonna come easy.
I told my Facebook friends I'm going doing my first podcast at 1:00. They you going live? Can we see?
Yeah, we gonna put this out ASAP though, because they don't want us. They don't want us to live. They don't want us out there.
Is it money?
Yeah, it's good. We rolling.
And we're back. All right.
Yeah.
So we here with Neesh. Just Gemini at the beautiful establishment, McKee's Rocks, not the West Side, right?
Not the West Side.
Not the West Side.
Just McKee's Rocks.
Just McKee's Rocks, right over the bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Across the bridge. Right?
Across the bridge, 708 Broadway. You heard?
Broadway. I lived up the block from Broadway in Harlem too. Just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have close ties with Broadway.
Close ties, huh?
Okay.
Broadway
I got ties
bullies.
with Broadway in New York.
Broadway bullies.
Well, you the only bully on this strip, though, right?
Oh man, listen. It's the Gemini
Talk to
thing.
him,
Listen.
Let them know. If they come through Broadway, you better come here, the Gemini.
Listen.
All right,
I'm
just Gemini.
Right.
Look, so we know that you had you've been in this business for a little minute, right? And you had a couple of different locations, right? Off camera, we spoke about your Monroeville Mall location. Talk to us about that experience. Tell us how you think that went.
Okay.
Talk to me.
So, my Monroeville Mall experience, it was interesting. It was very interesting. So, I went out Monroeville my second year in business. And I went out there because, like, out here, like I said, I had already had a relationship with my landlord. You know, so it was more or less walk up the street to the Blue Eagle, pay my rent, bully, do what I want. You know, I needed some discipline. I couldn't work with people. I felt like everybody just wanted to, you know, steal my business, do the same thing, because I had went through a few hurdles. You know, like, I ain't going to say anything bad, but just not understood. Like, for instance, if you're a boss and I'm a boss, we both running our own show.
Absolutely.
But you can't run my show, and I can't run your show. So we can't work together because we both trying to, you know, kick off. And it's like, listen, if you your boss, I'm my boss, we already established, what could you really bring to my table? So I went out there for the discipline. Again, just to learn, see, hire, fire, not have people work with me like we're a team, but nah, I'm the boss. You work for me. You come in at this time, you leave out at this time. So I had went out there, I had looked in a couple malls, and Monroeville, she was a Gemini, her name was Kelly. We just clicked from the door. I let her know, like, you know, I'm coming out here. You basically in the mall, you pay more. The rent's more because you can't be the same. You can't be closed. It's just a lot of discipline. Like, here it was like I opened when I wanted, I closed when I wanted. No, I wanted to pay if I had to, because I wanted that discipline. Like, okay, I gotta be open 7 days a week. Here I'm closed too, but there it's 7, no off time. You close, you get fined. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you
The
get
mall
fined.
finds you
Oh
for
yeah,
being closed?
Yeah, you gotta be open 7 days a week. If you're not open, ain't no late rent on your rent. Ain't none of that. Like, it's real deal. You know, it's a different ball game. It is. So I went out there for the discipline. It was like college to me. It was like, I want to know, I want to learn. I'm going to be a franchise. That's my vision. Rainbow started as a boutique. Now they're a franchise. Like, that's my vision. Like, if y'all was like, listen, Neesh, I could open up this Just Gemini. I could put all mans up. You showed me. I'm down, you know, because that's just what it is. But it would have to be, you know, professional, coming on a business level.
Absolutely.
You know, so I went out there on, like, you know, just to learn and see. And I had went into 6 months. And then I took on to 6 more. But it was...
You did like 1 6 month lease, and then you did another 6 month lease.
I did my 6 month lease, and then I extended my lease because I didn't just want to go and say I did it. Right. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to see the ups and downs. I wanted to, you know, do the time. Then I feel like in the business world, you know, you only get 6 months out the year. Right. You know, like, you're not going to boom all year. Yeah, you're not. Right. Like, who's buying in September from a boutique? You're buying your kids' school clothes. You know what I'm saying? Supplies, Christmas, who, you know, like, I may get a rush income tax after Christmas once you get a couple dollars from Santa, you know, but it just don't pop like that. So I was like, I need to see. But once it was going towards the end, I went in March. My lease was up, and I needed to see the holiday time. Rent goes up. It goes up $600 in the mall. Yeah, but they guarantee in that bag, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the insurance.
You don't get that traffic.
That's exactly.
They guarantee in that bag. You know what I'm saying? So I had went out there on a whole different experience. And Pittsburgh is just so Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? Pittsburgh is just so Pittsburgh. I'm going to try and keep it very professional and very classy, but I definitely want to let it be known, Pittsburgh, that y'all got to understand, like, it's not okay. We are not all the same Barbie.
Right.
Okay? We're not all the same Barbie. We're not. Listen, with the next, listen, because it was like tag, like, you know. So it was like mission accomplished. I made my year. You know what I'm saying? Me and you had spoke earlier, and you had mentioned, you know, me being bashed, and it went a little viral on Facebook or whatever. So we ain't gonna leave that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, I want you to talk about it. I mean, to tell what you want to tell, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because obviously,
I had just moved in the mall. I wasn't even 24 hours in. Me and my dad was out there, and, you know, we hanging a few things up. And, you know, some girl had came back or whatever after we left, or maybe we were there and didn't pay her no attention. And she had, like, made a post, like, they just let anybody move out Monroeville Mall, like, this store's trash, you know, whatever. So my brother, Wax Netty, big ups to him, he's an entrepreneur, too. He had, like, went in and, like, shared it and went crazy. Like, he's, like, the witted one. So I'm like, I'm just going to let him speak for me. I'm going to sit back. I ain't really say much because there wasn't no need. In the business world, I just know that when you sit back and you pay attention and you move in silence, they come looking for you. You know?
Of course. You
So it was like, I don't got to call you bees and be ghetto. I'm going to really genuinely get on my knees, pray for you and this money. And you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it all
So
comes
the
to you
haters.
tenfold.
Like karma did with them.
Weird. So, I mean, like, it was, like I said, I had made a public post, like, I'll speak numbers. Like, I mean, I can. It has its ups and its downs now. It's down, you know, but my first month was 16,000 in sales. You know what I'm saying? Because that girl bashed me, and I'm glad to see her now.
Can you say that again?
See, that's what happens. See,
Hold on.
see what happens, y'all haters?
You feel me?
Y'all try to dog somebody out, and then what happens? We go viral, we make some noise, and then you still made the bag.
And you made the bag.
Let that stay, keep that karma
Made
over there.
the
Matter of fact,
bag.
if you want to keep shoving it, we could probably double that up. You know
Listen,
what I mean?
I'm like, because then 3 months it was like 50. Throw it in the bag. Listen, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, hater motivation be the best. Like, I used to be mad at haters. I used to be mad at copycatters. But I'm like, they're motivators. Like,
that's
you know what I'm
almost
saying?
Flattery, though. You know what I'm saying? They
You
copy
gotta
everything
be-
what you doing as flattery.
You gotta be
You
immune
like me.
to it, like,
You know
because
what I
if
mean?
you be, and it took time. Don't get me wrong.
No,
We
for sure.
talking after I left Monroeville, just learning it, 4
Right.
years in the game, one more to go because it takes 5 to build a business.
Right.
It took time for me to really be like, really? Oh, you one of them?
Right,
okay,
right.
you
I
know,
see where
and that's
you
how
at.
y'all are. You know what I'm saying? But it was like my grand opening. It was amazing. I had Damaged Dance Crew. I had Mike Dean. I had Rough Bone from Bell Suver doing my video. All my friends was there. My mommy was still here. So it was amazing. Like it was unbelievable. I looked at the upper level. I remember tapping Rough and being like, yo, bro, like we got the whole upper level. Then I looked down. I'm like, yo, bro, like it was crazy, you know. And then Damage was marching through, and everything I do with Damage. I believe you stick with who you with, you ride with who you with. Loyalty's a mess. Like, it ain't about favoritism. It ain't about my babies being on the team. It's just about me rocking with them and me knowing that it takes time for it to grow. Like, I don't want another host. I want my thing. You know, like, I did Whammo promotion for 3 years. And it was expensive, you know, but anywhere I go, that mic's there. You're going to hear just Gemini's in the building.
Right.
If you need a fit, and that it's priceless. Like, I'm at a Juvie concert. You heard me as much as Juvenile, like, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm seeing girls twerking and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, you know, they are like, you know, so it hit a little different, like, you know, but. Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice experience. And then it was just like, you know, a lot of people started commenting and hating and doing more Facebook bashing. And it was just like, I didn't pay for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I paid a little more to come out here and not have to deal with it. I'm not going to be out here dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my business name. When I had my register, another reason why I was just like so humble and cool was because I'm just, you know, just naturally smart. So I never gave a receipt in Monroeville. I never gave a receipt. I always gave an email or a text message.
Okay, nice.
So when I left, I had my communication with everybody who I dealt with. So now I'm able to more or less move in silence, send pictures out to, through my
flyers,
register.
special events, anything you got going on.
Yes,
promotional
yes,
stuff.
yes,
You got all the information already.
Yes, so everything is more behind the scenes.
I love the way you think about that. But what was the best experience, or not the best experience? What was the learning lesson for you in Monroeville, being in that mall?
The learning lesson was that patience is the key. You have to be patient. You have to be prayed up. You just can't expect. It's not coming from where you expect it. Like, it's not going to come from your friends or your family or this new customer. Like, it'll be the darkest places. And I mean, my best friend rocks through everything. But there's times where the devil will block her because God just has to. So it was just like, I learned a lot from Monroeville Mall. I did. Like, I learned that everybody's not my friend. Everybody's not with me. I learned to just walk out and, fall back. Like, give them their space. Like, give them 50 feet. Like, I came back running my hair salon, able to just stay from back there and let her do her thing, like, because it didn't work, because I was just, oh, did you clean this? Oh, or we doing that? And it's like, I got this, but I did that too. Like, in the business world, things happens in seconds. So I learned a lot. I have no regrets at all. I went in for a year. Like I said, I did my year. A lot of people was, she lost it, she went under, she went broke. That wasn't the case.
You got a lease.
Listen, like the great philosopher.
I mean, even if broke, you still be like, look around. Lucy said it's a nigga in it. Like, this is all money. You know what I'm saying? It's inventory. My store's never been empty. You know what I'm saying? But it gets slow for me, like it gets slow for y'all, and it's okay when you have trust and you have faith in the vision. Like, it's forever for me. I'm never stopping. I'm never going back to working for nobody but Mallory Craig. And that's just that. But I moved my store. I had a plumbing problem, and I moved my store 6 months after my plumbing problem.
Wait, so this is after Monroeville?
No, this is Monroeville. I had two locations. When I was in
Monroeville,
I was
Dose.
Yeah. Just in case I didn't.
Yeah, I went to something way bigger that was like, whoa, how am I feel this? So when I was downstairs next to Leggings Park and Finish Line, I was the old Jamboree. And then I moved into the food court and was GameStop.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I had got the GameStop, and I thought the food court was better. It was more people. It would do better. It didn't. You're walking around. You're tired from shopping. You're not going in the food court to eat. Right. So it wasn't a good move. But not only was it not a good move, I had lost my mother in the process of moving. So it was like she had went through a month life support thing, and then we pulled the plug September 10th. I had my keys for the second location, we'll say, like at the end of July, beginning of August. Then she started getting sick. So I had, told him I wanted a little bit more time. So in the process of me moving into my store, which it was very beautiful. I have no regrets, but it was rough because I was, picking flowers for funerals and my store.
Yeah, you can't even focus.
I was picking clothes and coffins. You know what I'm saying? Like, I held it down and I did it, and then it was just like, okay, I could have went forward, but I couldn't go forward because I knew it was okay to not be okay.
Right.
And I wanted to keep it real to my customers. Like, I can't keep selling you a shirt, turning my back, crying. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm closing down. We're going to close the other location. We're going to take a break, and we're going to pray, and we're going to cry, and we're going to love. So I moved back here. We opened. We did a big spring lineup. We had dropped the Puffer Girl jackets. We dropped them in the city. We had the Cracker Girl pants. We had all that in fashion. We killed it. We did the Shaded by the Queen. We did it. And then I was like, I ain't ready. So I took another break. And I'm back. It's been a month. And I mean, I've been rolling every week. I'm podcasting.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? It's rolling, you know, but listen, it's definitely rolling. I have a photo shoot coming up. I want Breonna Neal to be my top model. So she'll be doing it. Shout out to Bree.
Yeah.
She put me here. She'll be the top model. So we're doing some modeling, you know, moving forward to the website and things that you were asking me about. She's willing to, you know, step up and help with that. And I feel safe as family, you know. So I'm excited for that. And it's only up from here, y'all.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's the confidence you had, you know, to just say, this is not for me right now. I need to go handle my business and get my mind right. You know, I think that's a lot of important for owners and business owners too, because as you know, we just got, like you said, there's always something going on.
Always something.
And like some things you got to deal with, you got to manage, but you also have to know when it's that time to like, all right, step back.
Take a break.
Yeah, and so you can mentally, because if you're not centered for yourself, there's no way you're going to be able to perform for your business.
Right. And when it's yours, it'll be there.
Right. What's meant for you is meant for you.
Listen, it is. I had so much inventory from a Roseville Mall and here, double everything. I'm talking Plato's Closet. I'm selling stuff that I paid $50 for $20, $10. But when you see that check and that check say $6,000 because you got 10,000 pieces, you gonna take that check. You know what I'm saying? Like the liquidation sales, the selling down. Like there be days I be like, look, I'm in a nuisance at Keys Rocks. You know what I'm saying? It's bad out here, and ain't nobody doing nothing.
Right.
Everything $10. Cause guess what? Now it's costing me money.
Right.
You know what
Just
I'm saying? I gotta make something.
Right.
And then I still look around and be like, thank you, Jesus. Because it still feel I ain't missing nothing. So to all you know, business owners, it's like it's okay to do a big quick sale, you know, clearance things out, do pop-ups. You gotta be now where the people's at. Like, ain't no traffic walking through here. I've never been with doing a pop-up, ever. Now I'm like, where they at? You know, because you got to go where the people is and kind of start over and start rebranding and
branding. That's the main thing. You got to put yourself out there.
You got to put yourself out there.
Pittsburgh is, we say this all the time, Pittsburgh is not, how you call it, a city where information gets out all the time. You know,
right.
It's like a word of mouth type thing.
Yeah, you did mention Whammo in the advertisement, but I feel like
everybody don't listen to Whammo. You know,
I didn't even know what Whammo was for real.
So I was on it, and I only played it when I'd be like, Mike, you want to send me a shout out? I'm listening to it right now. He'd be like, shout out to Neesh. I'm like, okay. Right. I mean, listen.
And that's hard too, because you got to find a balance. Some people don't. I haven't listened to the radio in I don't know how long. Everything's Apple Music. You know.
Listen, I'm still on Pandora with commercials.
My
friend just clowned me. She was like, "Get rid of them." I'm like, "Listen, it's promotion."
100%.
I want to say when you was talking about the whole Monroeville Mall experience, like the great philosopher French Montana said. When the hate don't work, they start telling lies. And that's exactly what happened to you. And that's a damn shame. Like I say all the time, that's a shame. You know what I mean? But we're going to move back into the present. So basically, we in just Gemini, beautiful location like we spoke about before. This is a storefront. And this I know a storefront requires having a lot of details and a lot of stuff that goes into it. Tell us about everything that goes into it to keeping the upkeep of this place.
Okay, keeping the upkeep of this place is, for starters, for me, got to pay the mortgage, to not get put out. Then you got to pay water, light, gas, sewage, and my alarm system and internet. Bills, overhead is half.
Expenses, yeah.
You can't have all this merchandise and not be covered.
Right, exactly.
Listen, something happened, give me my $300, please.
Right, exactly.
I need my money.
Insurance,
You know,
right,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Insurance is with a boutique, is just as important as a car. Like, you don't want to lose out so much as a leak and not get paid, for the shirt. I've never had to cash out, but yeah. And then moving on to like inventory, I do all my shopping. I do all my tagging. I do all my hanging. I pretty much handle everything. My daughter, she works here. She's management.
Keep it in the business. I love it.
Keep it, yeah. It started with just me. I was like I said, before Monroeville, I was real territorial. I was the only one who worked them first 2 years. No one ever worked here. It was just me, not my husband, not my daughter. Listen, I'm vacuuming, get out.
So I'm out here, you know what I mean?
They leave and stuff. I'm like, come on now, we ain't at home.
Right.
So once I moved to Monroeville, I let my daughter handle this location. So now she be putting me out because she been here for 2 years, and the customers be like, "Oh, we're baby girl." I'm like, I can serve you. Like, but when my daughter used to tell me like, "Mom, they coming in, they won't shop," and that's another thing. Like, they would come in like, "Is your mom here?" "Oh, well, I'm out," and my daughter would feel like she wasn't nice or she wasn't doing something right, and I'm like, "No, they just trying to hustle me." You know what I'm saying? Like, they just looking for that deal or some love or a prayer or something, coming from me. So she is management, and she does like the things that she likes. Like, she's big on my business tag being on my clothes. So like if you see like a Just Gemini tag with the price on it, she writes the prices. She has the better handwriting. So like anything with writing, she does the inventory count. Like she keeps me on board with what's sold and what's still here, and that's how I track the timing on how things are selling and stuff like that. But I order, I pick out, I hang up, I design, I come in every other Monday and I move my couches around and move my rugs and just get tired of looking at stuff because I'm a Gemini. And everybody come in, they be like, "Oh, it looks so different in here." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, because that couch was over there."
Right.
You may come in and be a rack up here, a store full of racks. You may come back, it's a store full of couches that I done stole from Craig's board. Like, shout out to Craig. I'm like, these are his couches. I was like, "Oh, I'll keep them warm." But, yeah, I handle 80% of it, and my baby holds it down, and my husband, he does a lot of like the behind the scenes. Like, he's the driver, he's the emailer, he's everything. Like, he's behind everything. I'm the face, he is the paperwork, and my daughter.
He's the transmission.
Yeah, he's the yeah, exactly. He is. He is. Listen, but he don't have a social media, so I don't never really shout him out. He's so quiet. Yeah.
We got to get you a social.
No, IG husband. Shout out to you.
Yeah. We got you. You still gonna shout you out.
Yeah. So I don't never really, give him the credit publicly because I'm like, why stop for the net? He can't see it, but he do a lot.
That's what's up. I love the family environment thing. You had mentioned briefly about shelf life. What determines how long an item stays on the shelf? Like, I mean, obviously outside of a hot item, something that's just flying off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you wanna restock that. But like, if something's been on a shelf for like 2 months, is that no good or?
So with me, yeah, but no. Because it depends on the item. If it's a signature item, I'm going to automatically expect it to be gone. Like, for instance, a town, we'll say, I can't keep them. So if they're there 2 weeks, yeah, they're definitely going down $2. Let's get rid of them because it might just be the color. I might have went to Springy in the fall. Sometimes we struggle with that as boutique owners. Like, will get caught up in us, like, "Oh, that's real you," and I'd be like, "Oh, well, what?" Like, my bestie will be like, "Oh, that's real Neesh." I'm like, "Well, what does that mean?" Right. So I'll go and try to be like, "Okay, well, that's real Sheree, and that's real Sharice, and that's real Shanetta," and kind of, step outside of me, mix it up. But it is rough, doing it, and it just varies. It varies on the time of the month. It varies on what's going on. It varies on what's new. If I see something I want, I'm like, it gotta make itself. Like, I'm not gonna go into that for that. Like, I never wanted that bad because it's like it goes to clearance. Like, mine's goes to clearance. So it'd be like, it may be hot to me, but it ain't a top seller to them. So I'll be like, oh, I'll just be patient. And then 9 chances out of 10, it do beat her. Like, even if you get the last, I normally only order 6 pieces because I'm a boutique. I don't want everybody to be the same. So it's like you'll get 2 smalls, 2 mediums, 2 larges, or we'll do one of each size if it's plus size, and then we do no reorders. So it's not coming back.
So that's the exclusive part to it. Like, once it's here, you even get it now, it's gone.
But again, that's something I learned coming from a Roseville, you know, where it was just like, I looked and I just had too much of the same stuff. I have pieces that I still have from the donation at the beginning. Like, it's not normal to be stuck with merchandise. Like, I don't just get rid of it. Like, it don't just go like that. Like, you just gotta stay the same and stick to, you know, what's for you. Not listen to what they're looking for. Because they'll ask you, like, could you get this? And then you'll get caught up getting that, and then they'll be the only one who want it, and you'll be stuck with it.
Right.
That's where
they won't even buy it. But sorry.
That's the hater. So once I like learned that, like, let me quit getting with these bums is expecting, you know, and went my own route. The first like 3 years, I didn't wear stuff from my boutique. Like, it wasn't my style. It was like I'm not wearing that, but this is what's selling, so. You know, I have to get it. And then once I stepped into Monroeville and went into more the hat and fashion, it was like, oh, yeah, I could rock with this. You know, I could rock with that. And now it's just, I don't wear anything outside of my boutique because it's cheaper to just get what's on clearance.
Well, you want to support your brand too, right?
Right.
You want to be a walking brand too.
Exactly.
Like, what you got on, that's me.
It's very important.
So you
they're
spoke
always
about...
like, where from? Just Gemini.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, here's my card.
So you spoke about having a team. So it's you, your daughter, and your husband. So that's the team. That's the triangle offense right there. That's who you got rolling with you.
Who's Kobe? You.
Who's Kobe? Who's Shaq? And who's Phil Jackson?
I feel like
you know who we're talking about, right?
Yeah, the Lakers.
Okay. My bad. Yeah.
I would say my husband is, you know, because he gets it done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so he's Kobe.
Yes, he's definitely Kobe.
I like that.
He's Kobe. He gets it done. Definitely, because the paperwork's important. Like, I didn't email Kelly, he did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
At a point in time in the mall, when I got ghetto, she was like, well, where's David? I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it comes that point where it's like, but then even with Jai, be like, I come in, they be like, where's she at? You know what I'm saying? Right. So we all play our position, but it took time. It took patience. It took patience for me to be like, they just with me. They just, you know what I mean? They just here to help me. Let me see what they could bring to the table. And it just always, you know, worked out. So.
That's what's up. So it seemed like everybody had interchangeable parts, to be honest with you. Somebody can drop a triple-double, somebody can drop 40, but at the same time, everybody's kind of got the same goal at the end of the day, which is to win.
So
and that's what you
are you Shaq or you Phil?
I'm Shaq.
You Shaq?
You Shaq?
Ooh, big Diesel.
Big
dog. You know what I'm saying? Big dog.
I'm Shaq.
You know what I'm saying? 3 finals MVPs.
Right.
Yeah, because it's like that. Yeah.
All right, so now you basically you work with a lot of vendors, and you know you handshake them, and you know you're able to handpick your products. Have you ever thought about doing your own clothing line, or do you have any pieces that's yours already? Your personal clothing line?
I do have my own clothing line. I had went to LA one time to meet a few vendors in the showroom, and I had went past this store that sold like the little bling, like it's always like different words and Africans with the bling hair and stuff, and I was just like, oh, she's strong, she's black, can she be me? And they were like, yeah, you know, you got to order so many pieces, it'll be this much, you know, whatever. So I had went around LA and I brought like maybe like 20 pieces because I wanted not only to create the brand, but I wanted to see it on the product. Like I had so much material, but I wanted to see it on my clothing. So I had handpicked a bunch of different clothes, and I had gave them. Dave had emailed them the logo, and Kobe Kobe had emailed them the logo. You know what I'm saying? And Shaq dropped it off.
Wow.
So, I had dropped off the clothes that I had picked or whatever, and I got them, and it came ready together, and I loved them. But that still was a learning process. Like, some things wasn't good on black. Then I had did, like, chrome diamonds, so it didn't bling good with, like, blue jean and different stuff. So it was, like, more or less, like, sample pieces. But I've learned now that it's best to be your own brand because, like, with my store, yeah, to me it's exclusive. I have a bunch of different things, but you still need to know what you're coming for. Like, she got a belt right now? Do she got that town? So I'm sticking to more to things that, sold for me and is a signature to you, to where it's like, it's a Friday night, I need a Gucci belt real quick, I need some fresh butters, I'm going to run to Just Jemini. She always...
Constructs.
She just call them butters.
Butters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Butter.
Real quick.
Butter.
First Pittsburgh's person I've ever just outright say that. Maybe
the wheat
like
Timbs.
What are
hold on. Let me explain this. The wheat Timbs 6-inch two-tone. Right? not the single bottoms. You know what I'm saying?
Where's the second?
I was just surprised. I was just surprised
because
it's called Constructs.
Not many people call them butters.
They call them Constructs?
They call them, we call them Constructs.
I've never heard of it.
You call them butters?
Yeah, butters. We say butters.
I call it Constructs.
Yeah, that's clip.
Butter Constructs.
Yeah.
Look,
Butter Constructs.
Look, just make sure it's 6 inches. It's 6 inch with the two bottoms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, none of that.
You can't be having the boneless Timbs out here, B.
Yo, it's so deep.
You can't have the boneless Timbs, yo.
I got the New York. I got the New York, so they where you come from.
That's what I like to hear.
Holyfield.
Yeah. They will smoke you in New York for wearing anything else but that version.
And then look, people having the sleeveless joints too. Be trying to put they pants over it. You lift up the pant leg.
And he already knew too. He knew what he was talking about.
Yo, listen. You lift up the pant leg and you got half a shoe. Nah, your eyes over. What's going on?
He's smoking you every time. Just know that.
Listen, I had them at the beginning. I'm like, this ain't right. I know what you're saying. 100%. But yeah,
that's funny. All right, so basically, so you got a couple of pieces for your clothing line. You ever thought about doing a fashion show? You ever did one before?
I've never did a fashion show. Yeah, I would love to do one. It takes a team, though. You
got two people on your team right here.
Yeah.
In addition to the triangle offense you already got, you still need 5 players. But
yeah.
Come on, let's get it going.
And that's another thing with us. We always see past what's right here. Like, you know what I mean? I always, at the beginning, I said no team. But the further we go in, we like,
you don't need a team.
They
always say take a village, right?
Right.
You got a couple real ones.
Right, but yes, I would.
Listen,
I'm with you. I have a mobile boutique. It is called Manera's Mobile Boutique. It's the memory of my mom. I had 2 box trucks for about 4 years now, we'll say. And my mom was just like, come on. So once she left, I was like, all right, I got it. So I went through Cliff Cager, which is a childhood friend, and he did all my logos. And he did my mom's logo. We went back and forth a lot because it was emotional, but we got it done. Cliff had a lot of patience. Shout out to Cliff. And I did my truck. I was real big on it being access inventory. I was big on it being really from my mom. I cleared her banking account. It was like $632 in there. So I was like, oh, that's enough to get my customized seat covers with her picture on it for the truck, the floor mats, and the sticker. And then I had took like pegboards from here, old grass wall that I had from Monroeville, stickers and stuff, old flooring from other properties. And me and Kobe just did our thing, and we knocked it out. And that's more of where the fashion shows and the photo shoots and all that is leading up to. Like I did do my mobile release for my anniversary. Everything that could have went wrong as far as like my letters and everything else. I got a real pretty tutu skirt for it. It wasn't here, but I was like, patience is the key. I said I was dropping it. I'm still bringing it, so I still pulled it up, but it doesn't look like nothing like my vision and what it's going to look like. Everything is here. I do have it. But I'm not in no rush. But that's when the fashion shows and, like I said, photo shoots and more vending events. But I'm trying to do like more like Black people festivals, regattas. So I'm lining up now for next year on, study events. Like there's even this like committee I'm in where if there's any movie shot in Pittsburgh, I'll be on their set to where they're looking for like last minute pieces and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So it's just like I went a different route with that. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I would definitely look forward to a fashion show from you. But just thinking outside the box, like you having to go through movie production, whatever that platform was, just to be in the loop. You know what I mean? And have your name constantly brought up. Like I think that's where it's at. Like people got to stop being so narrow-minded when it comes to this business and stuff like that. So, yeah, I love it.
So I had another question. So, what is your strategy behind your price points and how you price things? Because I mean, you have a lot of different pieces and a lot of different varieties. You know what I'm saying? You got hats, you got shoes, you got blouses, you got jumpsuits. How do you come up with the prices for everything? What's your strategy behind it?
So I try to I don't tax my people. I'm probably your cheapest boutique in Pittsburgh, I would say. I just aim for double. Because when
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but is that downfall because of our community? As far as always trying to give our people deals. And
it is, but it's like it be
the price is the price type of thing,
I don't think you should ask a Black business for a discount. Like the Arabs is eating good and they're getting a jump start. Like we getting it out the mud. Like I never got no grant or no loan. Everything I got, I hustled for. Like but it's like I aim for double. Some things are lower. Like we'll say, like, let's talk numbers. That this ain't saying, oh, y'all need to come in and be like, oh, I know you only paid $2 for this, so why is that? Because some things it's just a game. But it's like we may get a hat. I'm looking at a hat. Okay, I may get that hat for $3. I'm selling that hat for $10. $369. I'm timesing my money. Yeah. I mean, if I make $6, why not give a deal?
Right.
Like, yeah, you could get a couple. You want to get a bundle? You know what I'm saying? You get every color.
Right.
Then it's, because you done already paid for me 3 dozen. And that's how I look. I never look at it greedy. And then it's like, if I already tripled my money off this when I started at double, it already paid for the pack anyway.
Right. So you got it coming in, so why not?
It's already made. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just there. Like, it got to go, because at this point, it's costing you money.
By sitting on the shop.
By sitting there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, am I taking it to the church and drop it off? Am I giving it to this little girl who ain't been dressed? Whichever way I'm giving it, I need you to sign on this dotted line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to write it off and let that be the reason. Like, I do more donations than sales. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I do sales. I be like, whole store $10. They want to come in here all ratchet. Like, well, why can't I got 8? No, it already went low.
What?
Like, dude, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm like, my daughter, she 22. She irritated. Mom, I don't got time for this. Listen, Jenny, our customers are right. But no, get out. Like, $8. Like, I paid 18. Like, lost and still won and get out. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good question. It varies. Like, you just gotta be humble. Like, you just gotta have patience. Like, I just be having patience that, like, if I run a sale, I'm gonna make my quota. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if I don't, there's always tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just never mad the next day like that. I shouldn't have did that. Like, it's like, I always look at it like she came in for the sale. She needed that deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Her kids might have really needed them $10 shoes. Like, different stuff like that. So
I get those people. But, there's those other people.
I don't like that when, if everything's already, like, there's literally a liquidation sale, and that, say you came in here 2 weeks ago, and that the price is lower. Mm-hmm. Why would you even try to ask? Why would you fix your face to ask for more of a discount when it's already on clearance? This is a one-day sale. Just take it or leave it. Like, what are you doing?
That's what they do. They hustle me. That's why they be where your mom at. Like, and my daughter really told me, like, Mom, if you give everybody who came in here $5 off,
you ain't making no money.
How you
that's
gonna pay
my
the bills?
pay,
Right. Yeah.
And then you gotta bounce your prices too on your bills. Mm-hmm. Like, everything is factored into my price. Like, I ain't saying this whole pack is gonna pay my whole light bill, but it may be, okay, I gotta go up an extra $20 for the utilities, an extra $5 for the employer. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that comes out of my prices, so that factors into, like, it be like a little here, a little there, and then once you play with the numbers past double, then you go maybe a little more over to keep the lights on and be able to,
I always tell people, like, because I work in property management, and I say sometimes, people got repairs, or don't get their repairs done in a timely fashion or whatever, and that person wants a concession, right? They want a reduction or something. And I tell people all the time, like, every time you give somebody a concession, somebody's not getting paid. So that's coming out of somebody's check. Like, so it's the same difference. Every time you ask for a discount or a lesser amount, then you're cutting somebody's check.
You're only shorting yourself, because that somebody is me. Because in this case...
But they would be mad if somebody did that to them.
They wouldn't let it happen, though. That's what's so crazy. They wouldn't let it happen. So that's something else that you live and learn. And then when you give too many deals, it makes people wonder, like, well, what's wrong with it? Why is it so cheap?
That's the crazy part too.
You got some people that just want to be like, I paid $200 for these. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, I would rather say I paid $30 or just say nothing and just be the same as you. But there's a lot of people who don't shop with me because of my prices, and it just goes down, and I just hustle the way I hustle, and now understand it. But it's all coming from the same place. Like, I share a lot of vendors with Rashida from Press, which is, I publicly announced when I dropped that. Where I see same names in Rainbow, Fashion Nova. We have a lot of the same vendors. I get it when they get
Fashion Nova doesn't make their own stuff?
No, Fashion Nova deals.
They have a whole vendor, but they put their tag everything. And on everything. You know what I mean?
That's all we all do. So, like, in LA, it's like a big block of businesses, and they all deal with each other. Fashion Nova is more or less their showroom. So it's like, you can see it from Fashion Nova. They're silent. Like, if you're a boutique owner like me, you're going to see what they see because we both sell, clothing. But you very so oftenly deal with them type of vendors. A lot of Pittsburgh people do, because if you go to LA, you just walk down the district, you see it, and it's that easy, but they just don't know. They're all shipping boxes to Fashion Nova, and how I seen was how I know is I was in a showroom called TikTok one day. And I had seen Fashion Nova's name on packages, and I was like, oh, you guys are a vendor for Fashion Nova. And they were like, yeah. And then I went into asking if I could get my name and my merchandise and, different stuff like that. But I didn't do it then because they required me to order, like, way too many pieces. Like, Fashion Nova may order 200 of the same item.
Right.
To, get that. I'm only doing 6. So... it was totally different. So once I stepped in that field, it was like, but I did my name and my tags because, like, when I was in Monroeville, there was a bunch of secret shoppers. Like there's secret shoppers who will come in and look at your name, like look at the boutique name in your tag. Like it's not hard to find somebody's vendor. Like you, if your name's not in there, you can look in the tag and get it. There's people who take pictures and put it in like WhatsApp or even Amazon, and I could like take your sweatsuit, put it in the camera, and it'll take me right to where it's the cheapest at. But you don't know the product, you don't know the material. It's, to me, it's dumb, but to each his own. So once I went through, like, you know, secret shoppers and people keep coming in, and then me running past things that was just too familiar, and I'm like, there's no way you would have got to them because I went through a lot. I started dealing with a vendor who I did a just her contract. So I have one, and she is the same vendor as Rashida, and they put my name in everything. So like for the past year, everything that I've ordered actually has my business name in it.
That's what's up. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back.
Yo, it is, we're back. We never left. We here. Nah, let me playing.
Amen.
So, what was? Oh, I wasn't even supposed to go. It's not even my turn.
Yeah, no, but so obviously we went through a whole different channels of, you know, the Monroeville Mall and, you know, how everything happened after that, what we doing now. Let's bring it back to the beginning. You know what I mean? Obviously it was a process to get started. Tell us how you even came up with the idea and what you do to fund this location we at.
Okay, so how I came up with the idea. One day I was sitting on the phone with my friend, and I was telling her, you know, the vision, like, oh, I'm going, you know, sell hair. I'm going to be a hair store. I'm ready. And I was like, just Gemini. I'm like, I'm just me. I'm just a Gemini. And she was like, yes, that's it. And I never thought no further. So I did my LLC, and just Gemini was taken in New York. And it was spelled with a G. And I'm like, oh, I really like that. I want it. And she's like, well, you could spell it with a J. And I'm like, ooh, and then it could have a nickname, JJ's. So I'm like, yeah, just Gemini, JJ's. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's it. So I was working at Craig's bar, and I would always tell, like, Craig and my customers, like, oh, you know, I'm opening up a store, whatever. And they would just tip me. Like, they just, like, I swear, like, the support from the customers at Craig's was unbelievable. Like, they still look and be like, wow, Neesh. Like, there's a bunch of them that be like, you really said it. And I remember giving you an extra $5 or an extra $10, knowing, you know, you was going to do what was needed with it. And they just look around and just be so proud. And at times I still look around and just cry and just be so thankful, like, wow, you know, it's real. But that was where I started. I started at Craig's bar. I started with tips. I saved up all my tips for some time. I don't remember how long it took. I'm sure it didn't take that long, because if it's your vision, you know what I'm saying, and you want to do it, you do it. Like, it's security deposit, first month's rent, LLC. You know what I'm saying? That was really nothing. And then, like I said, I was blessed with the clothing already. I had already bought the racks for like $10-15 and stuff. So I was pretty much rolling. I took my tip money and I went to Sunny and I paid, and here I stand.
That's what's up, y'all. That's what's up.
For the first time.
For the first time, you know.
Behind the scenes.
We're back.
We're back.
Like we never left.
It's on you.
So shout out to Craig, man. Like, that's a beautiful story too. Like, just like we always talk about, basically like compound interest. Like, as far as stocks go, you just had a dream, you saw it, you stacked, and those little $5, $1, like every dollar counted. You know, and here we are, right here in the establishment, just Gemini.
Yeah.
So so now that you completed your first dream or passion, what's next for you?
What's next? I want to go back to where I started. I want to close every chapter that I started writing. I want to go back to Craig's and make more money. I want to go back to Craig's and run it up, because it ain't in the fashion. I want to do my mobile boutique because I pay taxes and
Right.
insurance.
Hey,
You know what I'm
life,
saying? I
you
want
know,
to get
being
back
an
into
adult.
my property. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back. There's nothing new.
Okay.
I'm just going to close up everything else. I feel like I was doing a lot of bouncing, and it was like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Oh, I got this, I got that. But it's like, I mean, what you doing with it? You know what I'm saying? Everything was moving so fast. I'm like, oh, what? $50? Let me get that. Oh, what? You know, and it just be deals, and you can't turn down the deal. And now I'm turning them down, and I'm like, sometimes, you know, God's answering yes. Like the devil will distract you in any way, and it may seem good, but everything's not for you. Like I went a few routes that was outside of my field. You know what I'm saying? And I want to go back to me. I want to go back to what I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You want to center yourself real quick.
Yep.
I tell you, that's the only way you can provide for somebody or anybody or any business is staying centered.
Swear. Yep. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning, the regular customers, the regular signatures. You know,
You're still gonna be looking for that fashion show though. So
listen,
sure.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down because mobile's
look, we
next.
might even got a venue too for you already.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm all the way. Listen,
Shout
don't
out
tell
to
me that. 'Cause I dive in. I'll go here
Definitely have
first.
a
I'm
venue.
ready.
You know, sometimes you just got to use this podcast to connect the dots. But you know, we have other guests on there that's
I would love to.
always welcomed us. You know, Lincoln. His Lincoln people, well, he everybody people, he my people
Yeah,
too.
I mean?
Shout out to Jamie, you know, but that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, like just being on this show, we have other connections. I mean, we not from Pittsburgh, but you know, we could make it work, make it happen when you're ready.
I'm
so,
down. Definitely to network outside
Make
of
it work.
you know what it's been because I
Dribbling
don't
and
want to
shit.
just be right there anymore. You know, I want
right.
to grow, and our followers are not the same followers.
Right.
You know, so it's definitely new to you guys' whole surroundings. So I'm down for whatever.
Let's do it. Let's
Make
do
it
it.
happen.
Well, tell us, Neesh, one more time where they can find you. You know, you're on Broadway Bully, but sorry. One more time. Tell them where they can come shop at. Get their ski masks and their skellies and their purses and dresses. Go ahead.
Yes. So I'm located at 708 Broadway, McKees Rocks, PA, 15136. Next to Fish and Hook Chicken and the dentist office.
Okay, right next door.
Right down the street from the school.
Okay.
Come check me out, y'all.
And McKees Rocks. That's not the west side. That's not the west side.
Across the bridge.
Shout out to the west side, though. South side is the death for me. Yes,
I know that's
not
right.
the west side.
I know that's right. But look, we love, like I said, we appreciate you. We love the fact that you welcomed us into your establishment. Thank you. We hope to get another invite to see how you are in another year or so.
More than welcome.
And just to get an update, you know. So we appreciate you. So on that note, thank y'all for dealing with us through our technical difficulties, you know. And but yeah, we made it. We made it a solid episode. Good energy. We kept the energy up, and we didn't let none of that demonic stuff stop us from making this happen.
Right.
So yeah, I said it.
Yeah. So let's see what's next behind this podcast.
That's right. So I'm Kay.
I'm Chaz.
Our special guest today is
Nisha live at Jemini.
Let's get it.
bang. There you go.
Real quick before we go.
Oh
This
yeah.
has been on the table for a minute, and if you happen to be blessed with the Culture Content Good Brothers, we are blessing our guests with gift bags going forward.
So you're the first
as you can
one.
see, you're the first one to get it.
Oh,
So
and
we
I'm
getting
so
close and
thankful.
Personal. So this right here is 2 wristbands, as you can see. Right?
Bracelets.
You know, a little nip of champagne and a thank you card. Just want to send some gratitude and some appreciation to our guests going forward. You dig? So we appreciate you.
Thank you,
Thank
Nish.
you. I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you guys.
For sure.
It really
For
matters.
sure.
Yeah, you know, it's
No,
little
it's
touches.
No, this is
You know what I
so
mean?
nice.
Little
So
touches.
it's dope.
You know.
Just want to send our appreciation to you and every, future guests we have on the show. Just want to send some appreciation. We appreciate y'all, and we all gonna run it up together, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I guess we're not giving y'all gift bags, but we give y'all wristbands. Love is love. I mean, we ain't got it like that.
And
We
I
got
got
to move
the
it
bottle.
forward.
I got the bottle. And it's my favorite color.
We're gonna give y'all
Pretty and
something.
pink.
Yeah, we gonna give y'all. We got to give our old guests something,
Listen.
but we got y'all. That was just me being funny. Y'all know it's all out of love, man. I love everybody. So yeah, on that note, we are out, man.
We
this
out.
is it. It is. Look, we finally got through it. Ain't we happy? We good.
We made
Let's
it.
get it.
We
Made
need
it.
to drop that T on the Taylor. We made
Yeah,
it.
right. I will put it on the video at the end if YouTube wouldn't flag me, but
Oh,
you know,
man, it's all
it would have been perfect.
Listen, I
But alright, y'all, and that's it. It's a wrap. Bang.